Hello and welcome to the video of me chocolate and vanilla cheesecake. 6 sins each serving, and it serves 8. I've got the washing machine keeping me company again, which is always on. 3 kids. Turn them off. Right, so first of all, we've got 8 bourbon biscuits, which we're going to crunch up. This is going to be part of the base. So, I'll just get all the rolling pin and give these a bit of a bish bash. This is the noisy part. I mean, somebody says I could blend these, but you don't want them too fine. You don't want it into the powder. You know, you want to make some sort of biggish crumbs so that they can bond together, you know? But give these a bit of a muck about like that. Any really large bits, just give them a bit of a scrunch in there. That should just about do it. Right. So meanwhile, that's the biscuits done. Any big bits, that should be quite okay. Right, I'm going to put a small pan on to heat up, and I am going to use some Flora Light. Okay, and I've used 40 grams. I'm going to use 40 grams of that, and I'm going to melt the butter into this pan. So there's the butter there, I've already measured out. God, that washing machine's a noisy thing, isn't it? So here we go. Into the pan goes that. It won't take much melting this butter. So we'll just not have the pan too high. Give that a minute or two for that to dissolve. So I've got to basically put the biscuits and the butter together, and that's gonna bond. I'll bring the camera over so you can look. So there's the butter there. Just mixing away there. Okay. Won't be long until that's done. I'm going to leave the cheesecake overnight to set, so I'll be doing the video in a couple of stages. I'm going to show you how to do the base and the actual cheese bit itself. So there we go, and that's melted, as you can see. And I'm going to add the biscuits. Okay, so I'm going to get there's the bourbon biscuits there, and hopefully that butter will bond the biscuits together quite well. God, it's a noisy thing that, isn't it? Like I say, 24/7 that's on, and as you can see there, you can see the biscuits there, the biscuit crumbs are bonding quite well. It's really nice. So I'm using a special cake tin for this. Okay. And it's a spring cake tin. Basically it unclips like that, and you can fasten it again, and it clamps round your actual dish, and then you unclamp it when you want to lift it off. But at the meantime, I'm just going to use the base, okay, which is here. Now it says 20cm diameter base, but really this one was the 18cm, and that should do the job, to be honest with you. Let's give that a stir. Nearly done there. Yeah, this is a spring form section, this, but here we go. We'll put the old, just see that there. And what we're going to do, we're going to spoon the mixture onto the the cake tin there. Alright, and I'm going to use, I'll just use my finger to scrape the rest of it off, and this is the base. Right, I'm going to use the back of the spoon to just flatten the mixture all around the tin. If it does stick to the back of the spoon, just keep scraping it off again. It's a bit fiddly, but just bear with it. As it starts to cool, it'll not stick as much. As you can see there, starting to spread out quite nicely. As it's starting to cool already, it's not, like I say, sticking to the spoon as much. So just take your time over it. Looks delicious already, doesn't it? I'm going to try a smaller spoon. As it's starting to cool, that's better. This is going to be the base. Like I said, just take your time. Just move it over. To begin with, you might think, oh my goodness me, this isn't going to do anything, this is breaking up, but it doesn't. It's only a bit claggy when it's, like I say, when it's really hot. That's starting to spread out quite nice. First time I've made this, but it does look quite tasty already. There we are, it's looking not too bad. Just get it as nearest to the edges as you can. So there we go. And there is the base, you can see, all squared out. Now what I've got to do now is I'm going to get some cling film in one of these drawers here. I've got to cover it with cling film and chill the base for 30 minutes in the fridge. Obviously you don't want to be too gooey. So you will cover this, just be careful, with cling film like that, and that should cool down. So I'll just rip this off without making a hash. And there we go. That will go in the fridge for 30 minutes because it needs to chill a little bit. Right then, now we're getting somewhere, aren't we? The next step is we're going to put the jelly crystals, which is one of these, which you just ripped in half. There's 2 sachets here, and they're around about 11.5 grams sachet of the Hartley sugar-free lemon and lime jelly crystals. So just the one of these. And what I'll be doing, I'll be putting this into a measuring jug. There we go. Put that into a measuring jug, and then this is the old gelatine, 12 gram sachets, and this is going to help to make the whole mixture set. This is the first stage of the video of this cheesecake, and I'll tell you why in the second stage in a minute. So what I'll be doing is I will also add the gelatine to the jug. Now what I've got to do next is add 250 millilitres of boiling water and stir the gelatine until it dissolves, and the jelly. Just let it dissolve completely. So we get a wooden spoon. So it's 250 millilitres. I'll just double check with that. Yep, so we'll get the measurements here. So we will just 250, there we go, bang on. And we'll just keep on stirring that until it's dissolved completely. Now then, this first part of the video will be finishing because what I've got to do is I've got to let this cool down naturally before I do the next stage. I've got to let it cool down, which is going to take about half an hour, 20 minutes. Okay. So I've got to, when it's dissolved, I've got to leave to cool completely. Then the next stage, I've got to put the cooled jelly into a food processor, or I'm going to use one of these blending machines. And I've got to blend together 3 vanilla yogurts, Muller Lights, and vanilla extract and some quark and some sweetener until smooth. And then I just pour that over the biscuit base, and I've got to leave that overnight. So the next part, the third part of the video, will be adding the chocolate, but I've got to leave this overnight. So let's have a look at that. That's starting to dissolve quite nice, eh? So just have a look at that. Is all that dissolved quite good there? Yeah, I'm happy with that. So I'll end this video for now because this is the first part, and that needs to cool. Right. So stay tuned. I will be joining the video up to the second part where we'll be mixing and making the actual cheese base itself with the ingredients I've measured before. So keep in tuned. Ta-ra for now. Hello and welcome to the cheesecake part 2. As you can see, I've put the case properly onto the base I've done. I've clipped it on. I would advise as well, because it's still quite soft, when it's set, as you can see, but just push and just smooth around the edges, so they like that, so the base sits smooth to the end. As you can see, it's touching the edge right the way around, like that. Right, and so put that here for now, out road. So we have got here in the bowl, we have got here, we've got the powdered gelatine, the 12-gram sachet, which is just cooled nicely. So we're going to put this in here like that, and then I've got the some quark here, 150 grams. So I'll just spit that out into there like that. And I've got some measuring spoons here, and I'm going to use 2 level dessert spoons of sweetener, or tablespoons should I say, not dessert spoons, tablespoons. I'm just using some of these. So that's 1, and that's 2, and some 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. I advise you to get some of these measuring spoons, they're a lot easier. Just so much easier to collect them in. So put 1 and 2. In we go. Right, now we will add some vanilla light yogurt, and there's 4 of these, so we'll just chuck all this in like so. You think, God, 4, there's a lot, but this is going to be your cheese topping. That's 2. And 3. And finally 4. Not bad at all. Into the dustbin. Wash the hands. Right. So we use a food blender. Well, I'm going to use one of these, and I'm going to blitz this. So here comes the noisy bit, so watch your ears. Yeah, so just give that a go. So blitz that. Until smooth. Give that a bit of a test. Lovely. Just a little bit more. So there we go. That'll do the job. Push bash into the sink with that, and then we get the old tin with the clip on, and then all we'll have to do is just simply pour that over the biscuit base like follows. Not bad at all. There we go. And that's all there is to it there. I'll let you have a look at that now. And there we go. Looks delicious, doesn't it? So the next stage now, I have to put that in the fridge, and the torturous bit is I've got to leave it overnight. You know, so I've got to cover and chill overnight until it's set. So I'll get some clingety cling film. I could just eat that now, but got to let it set. So in we go with the cling film. Make sure it's airtight. That'll do. A lot of air getting in. And that'll do. And I'm just going to put that in the fridge overnight. And that'll set. Some of it. I'll just leave that be. Leave that there. And then tomorrow, in part 3, that's when we add the chocolate and the cocoa powder. And that'll be part 3 tomorrow. But in the meantime, thank you very much for watching. Bye bye. Hello and welcome to the final part of me cheesecake. I've actually took it out of the fridge overnight, and as you can see there, it's set perfectly, which I'm really pleased with that. I'll put the light on so you can see. Absolutely spot on. Right, what I've got to do next is add the chocolate for the topping. So I've got 40 grams of dark chocolate here, and what I'm going to do is I'll put the camera on. I'm going to melt it by putting the chocolate into a jug. So wash them scales down. I'm going to put the jug into a pan, and around the jug I'm going to put some boiling water. Very simple, and this is just going to melt the chocolate. So on we go with that. Let's get a spoon. We'll just let that melt away. This won't take long at all to melt. And then I'm going to be using some cocoa powder, 2 teaspoons of it, and I will be sprinkling it over after I put the chocolate on as well. I'm pretty pleased how it's turned out. Absolutely Looking gorgeous already. So just bear with us a second, get this chocolate melted. Shouldn't take that long. Like I said, it's a bit frustrating having to wait overnight for it, but good things come to those who wait. So just keep stirring that. Now it says in the book that you get 8 portions out of this, and each portion is 6 sins, which isn't too bad really, considering. I don't know what the sins would be in a normal cheesecake, but I'm sure it would be higher than 6. This is melting pretty quickly. Do the business. But it's so easy to make, but it just helps, doesn't it, watching videos. It's just so... I used to struggle just looking at recipe books, you know, but if someone's demonstrating, it really does help. It's just so much better, isn't it? So we've got that melting quite nicely. Keep stirring that. Let it go quite soft, because I'm going to be drizzling this over the top of that in a minute. And 40 grams doesn't really sound a lot, but it's really just for like the decorating side of it. So wait until it goes quite runny. That's melting quite quick now. I'm going to make a few of these on Christmas Day as well, I think, for a bit of a dessert. Yeah, it's getting quite runny now, as you can see. Yeah, so that do its business. It shouldn't be too long at all now. Right. I'm just about done there. Just about 30 seconds or more, and that should be enough. Just rummaging around a drawer for something here, if you're wondering what I'm doing. And see how quickly that is beginning to melt. Right, then, so I'm going to use a little spoon to take this off now. Now, in the book I've seen, I've got to do wavy lines, but I won't be able to do that. I'll have to buy one of those things where you squeeze it out with, and I haven't got one as of yet. So I'll just have to, as best I can, try to just decorate this on here. And there we go. That's drizzled on quite lightly. I say it can be quite fiddly, this, because it is quite claggy. But I'll just try the best I can to dribble some on, like that. Just use another spoon if I have to. I must, or a knife. I must actually get one of these icing things that you squeeze out with. It would make things a lot easier. But this is doing the job. This will do for now. First attempt I've made this, so I can't wait to get my chops around it really. I'll get some more there. Quite tricky, but it's doing the job. There we go. A bit more there. Doesn't seem quite a lot, the old 40 grams, but it does go quite a way. I'll just put some blobs there, here and there. Excuse me, definitely need to get one of those squeezy bag things to squeeze it out, because they're going to tend to, chocolate wants to stick to the spoon more than the actual cake itself. But that's looking quite good, isn't it? Not bad at all. So there we go, just try and keep putting some blobs around. And then I will put this back in the fridge for the chocolate to harden back off again. Get as much scraped off the jug as I can. Don't want to waste it, do you? There we are, we're getting there. You have to be quite quick as well, because it will start to set the chocolate and start to go hard again. Go. And then we'll use a cocoa powder, 2 teaspoons. I'm using one of these, so I'll just put a bit in there. We will just sieve this across like that. Delicious. Absolutely scrumptious. And then we will remove the cake tin like that. These clips are great because it means you can just release the pressure from the actual cake tin, so therefore you can lift it off slowly. So just take your time, don't try and rip it off, because you don't want to rip the cheesecake itself. And there we go. That looks absolutely fab, doesn't it? And oh, I've got to try a little bit of that. Absolutely delicious. As you can see, the biscuit base on the bottom and the chocolate. Let's have a look at that. That's not bad at all, is it? So there we go. Thanks for watching, and thanks for your support, and stay tuned for more. Ta-ra for now.